Hi, I'm Sandy Powell. Welcome to the Roundtable.
And I am your co-host today, Zay.
Today we're having a few of our guests from the Youth Academy for Prevention through way of television broadcast. And if you'll give us your name.
Tamarion.
Hanaya.
Janaya.
Ayana.
Thank you all for being on the show. Thank you all for coming through the Academy. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to have our first question?
What is bullying?
Bullying is actually when they pick on you, like, mostly, like, every day. And sometimes they pick on you about what you wear and how you look like. There'll be many people that be doing that.
Do you sometimes feel that people pick on you because of, or that people can be picked on because of race? Has that ever?
Yeah.
Yes, that can be something that can happen. So you can say your dress attire, your hair, your shoes. What are other things that people get picked on about?
How they live.
How they live.
Or if they got more friends than somebody.
That's right. So bullying is just trying to make someone else feel bad for whatever reason they deem it a put down to that person. Zay asked another question.
Have any of you ever been bullied?
No.
Anybody else been bullied?
Never.
I've never been bullied.
You? Well, that's great. Have you ever witnessed someone being bullied?
Yes, I have.
Tell me about it.
Well, it was like bullying, but it wasn't really much because, like...
What did you notice about it? Was the person sad or scared?
Well, they was scared and they was sad because they were trying to fight somebody for a crazy reason.
Yeah.
And how did you react in this situation?
Well, I really didn't react. I just told them what happened because it was like what happened and stuff like that. And the person was already scared. So I had just told them what happened.
You told the adults, an adult, what happened. Did you feel afraid to jump in, not necessarily physically fighting, but did you feel afraid to stop the bullying because you might be picked on too?
Well, I really wasn't scared. I was a little, but then when I was around the adult, I had told the adult what was happening, so I wasn't really scared.
Okay. Did you witness a bullying situation before?
Yes.
What did you witness? Was it about fighting or just making someone feel bad verbally? How was it your situation?
It was just making someone feel bad about themselves.
Okay. What were they saying? What was they picking on them about?
Like they were saying like they're ugly and their living situation and all that.
Okay, so they were talking about the person's lack that they may have had. How did it make you feel?
It made me feel mad inside because they wouldn't want someone to talk about them like that.
Right, right. Did you try to stop it anyway, or did you feel like I better not say anything?
I tried to stop it, but it didn't help.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? What about you? Have you ever experienced or know someone that had been bullied?
Actually, myself, I was bullied in elementary because of my weight, and it made me feel low, like very low.
And so when you is in that position where they're bullying you, just from your perspective, what would be your advice to someone who is being bullied?
Talk to somebody that you know is going to do something to help the situation.
Like, for instance, give us a for instance. Who do they go to?
Your parents, a trustworthy authority.
Okay. All right. Well, you got another question for our guest?
Have any of your friends ever told you that they were being bullied? If so, what did you do?
My friend never told me because they don't get bullied either.
I'm gonna hang with your crew. Y'all is in some part of heaven or something. What about you, sweetie?
None of my friends ever told me about bullying, that they have been bullied.
None of your friends have been bullied either. Have anybody on our panel had friends that have been bullied?
My friend, they never been bullied. Not
Okay.
that I know of.
Okay. What about you?
No.
No? Zay, what about you?
No.
No. Well, I can tell you this, that I grew up a long, long time ago, dinosaur years, and when I was, yeah, little girl. And, and I remember being bullied, and I remember my friend being bullied. And it's a very hurtful thing, and it makes you feel small and less than. And it makes you want to cry. It makes you, and you probably can attest to this, it makes you want to fight inside. You're mad. But because of fear, you don't strike, right? Because you don't want retaliation. But bullying is made to make the person feel small. And so that's what it did for me. Is that what it did for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What's your next question?
What are some serious issues that are a result of bullying?
Suicide.
Yes.
And talk about that. What would lead to suicide? What type of bullying?
Like pushing on them, like harmful bullying, and like threaten, and then like, you know,
And how do you imagine that the person that committed suicide feel?
bad.
Yeah. What were you going to say to that?
I was going to say it could probably be like cyber bullying.
Right.
Because some people, like, if it constantly happen every day and stuff, they gonna eventually they're gonna commit suicide to themselves.
Right.
Because they get tired of getting bullied.
Well, y'all in a society where electronics are just a way of life. You know, the cyber or web is just a part of your life. And so cyberbullying is new to the older generation, but to you all, it's a common thing. How would you say to your friend, if your friend was being bullied by way of, let's say, social media, how would you help them? What would you say to them to help them to overcome being bullied by, let's say, people saying things ugly about them on social media?
You could probably like block them or something. Like if they followed you and try to be your fake friend or something, you should just block them.
Okay, what do you think?
Like,
Talk up a little bit so I can hear you.
like just like if they text you something like that, just ignore it. Don't even worry about it. They try to say something at school, tell an adult or do something.
Right, right. Blocking is another way that you can, stop cybering bullying a little bit, because sometimes they have fake accounts they can set up and still try to get at you. Yes.
And like say, because either way, if you try to ignore what they doing, or like what they saying to you on social media like that, they gonna try to pick on you at school or somewhere. If they see you, they gonna try to do it.
Right.
If you're alone, they gonna try to do something to you. Like
What do you suggest they do at that point? What is your suggestion to somebody who's listening? That if you're getting bullied on cyber, and then if you block them, and now at school or at some social event, they're there again to bully. What do you suggest?
They gonna try to like expose you in front of everybody.
Yeah. What do you suggest the person do?
Walk away, tell somebody to, like what he said, a trustworthy adult.
That's right. That's right. Did you want to say something? I thought you was going to say something about being cyberbullied. Do you know about cyberbullying?
No, not really.
Not really. Social media, have any of y'all, do y'all all have social media accounts like
Yes, ma'am.
Facebook and Snapchat, all of that kind of stuff? Instagram, is that the new one? Because I don't have but one, and that's Facebook.
Yeah.
That's old, isn't it?
Snapchat and Instagram, the newest one.
It's the newest one, and it's the latest thing that the young people use.
Yes, ma'am.
And so have you all seen on these social media entities meanness happening,
No,
Yes.
like really bad?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't either.
You haven't either? Do you have a Snapchat or something?
I have Snapchat and Instagram.
Okay. And you?
No.
No, because mom's watching, or no because no?
No, because no.
Okay.
Well, I don't have it. I just have TikTok, but it's like where
What's
you make
TikTok?
It's like where you make, you make videos and stuff, and you can post them.
It's really
And people
it,
could comment on them and like them, and you can go live on it too.
Oh, really?
it's really like musically.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was so they had changed the musically
name.
word to TikTok. So
So
after
what was the
them,
old name?
Musically.
but you can edit your video after you done. You can edit your video and post it.
And post it up, and then people can like it and make comments about it. Do you have one of those TikTok? That's not your style, is it? Any? Do you have one? And do you have one?
Yes.
Yes. What about you? Got one? Oh, so you don't have Snapchat, but you got the TikTok. So you post the videos of yourself. Do people say mean things to you on there?
No, nobody ever said nothing mean about me. They might say, oh, you look cute, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Do y'all know everybody that's on your social media, like on your list? Do you know all the people personally, or some of your friends that are attached to that,
Yeah.
people you don't know?
Yeah, I know some. I know some of them because they go to my school. Or I knew them last year in the 4th grade.
Do you have some people on you don't know? You just happen
Well,
to,
a few, but not
not a lot. Okay. I want y'all to be careful with that because you never know who's who behind the scene.
It's usually like friends and stuff that be like following me, but other people that just follow you, I really don't worry about it. I just
Talk to the people that you know.
know that I know.
Okay. You?
I'll also go say I had like a old page for my old phone,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one person coming on my music lead, and I didn't know the person, and I really didn't understand what they were talking about, cause I had like a whole bunch of pictures that I posted on music lead, and they said something I really didn't like. Like I didn't really feel safe when they just said that. Like I ain't felt comfortable.
So you just, can you unfriend them on this?
They
Yeah,
ain't
you
follow
could-
me.
You could like unfollow them. Like it would say follow, and you could push the little check mark, and then you can unfollow them like that. That's what I do. Or first I go look, and if it's a grown up, like once time somebody followed me, I had looked at it, and it was a grown person, so I just
Unfriend
didn't
them.
follow them.
Well, how many of you are okay with bullying?
I'm not. But I
Not,
never experienced
not,
it.
not. How many of you don't like bullying? Are you willing to stand alone against bullying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Like if your friends were to bully somebody or someone you know was to bully somebody, would you be okay with not being with the group and standing alone and saying, I don't agree with that?
Yeah, I would
Yes.
stand alone.
You'll stand alone? Would you stand alone?
Yes.
How about you? Tay, would you stand alone?
Yes.
Good. How about you, sweetie? Yeah, that's what this is about. This is about being able to stand alone against bullying. And so I'm glad to know that you all don't have to participate in things that are like bullying in order to feel better about yourself and that you have the concerns of others in your heart. Thank y'all for being on the show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the second half of our group that'll be discussing being able to stand alone against drugs. We'll be right back. Welcome back to part 2 of the Academy where we have been doing prevention for the youth by way of television. And this second group is going to be speaking on drugs. And my co-host for the second part is
Tayshawn, but you can call me Tay.
Tayshawn, but you can call him Tay. And our guests start right here.
Calvin, but I go by Cal.
Howard, but I go by Leo.
Walter, but I go by WJ.
Iana, but I go by Iana. Marquise, but I go by Marquise.
So you can tell that the Academy has been a full blast and a lot of fun and a lot of laughter. But in our training and development, we talked about some topics that weren't so funny. And the topic that we're going to touch on today, which is drug, is one of those topics. Would y'all say that not a funny thing, huh?
No,
Not funny.
Not at all.
drugs are not healthy.
And what it can do to you.
Right.
It can kill you.
Make sure you use your mic.
It can kill people. Like, you can't, like, for example, right, if a man asks you, say some candy, just say no because you don't know when the candy been. Like,
Exactly. The other thing that our main topic for the Academy has been being able to stand alone. And we all in the background talked about how we may know people or ourselves experience someone offering drugs to you or to your friends, and how it's important that you stand alone. That meaning that it's okay to say no, even if you're the only one in the group that says no. And are you okay with standing alone? That's the first question. You want to ask that? My co-host, Tay, go ahead.
When it comes down to it, can you stand alone?
Yes. I say yes, because I really don't care what nobody say. If I'm lame, I'm lame.
Yes.
I want my brain cells.
Yes. I think we need to get a T-shirt that says that. I'm lame. And then maybe with your best friend say, I'm lamer.
I'll buy it.
You'll buy it? What do you guys think about standing alone in the face of being, let's say, the only person who won't do the drugs? Are you okay with that?
Well, I will stand alone with because you know, like
Use your mic.
like I'm cool.
Use your mic.
I'm cool, you know, like I don't do drugs because if they're selling drugs, they lame, you know, I'm cool, you know, God bless me. I have a mom that take care of me. She want me for the best, you know. I'm not gonna take the drugs from them. Like I'm not trying to go to jail, be dead, you
That's
know.
right.
Because God wants me to be who I am.
That's right. What about you, Walter? I'm sorry, Leo.
I could for sure go without using drugs, because in the end, the ones that do use drugs, they're missing brain cells, and for sure they're not gonna end up being the same way as they were before. While me, when I choose not to do drugs, I'm gonna turn out even better than when I was before.
That's exactly right. What about you, WJ? Are you okay with standing alone in the face of, let's see, being offered drugs, or, you know, are you okay with just being the only one that says no?
Yes, I am.
That's not a problem for you at all?
No,
Are you
it's not.
comfortable with yourselves enough, like, to say no, even though everybody else is doing it and or offering it to you? Are you comfortable enough with yourselves to say no?
Well,
Let me just
yes.
get Iana first right here.
I am. Because, I mean, like I said before, I want my brain cells. And I have dreams. And if I do drugs, I won't be able to reach those dreams because I won't have the opportunity. But if I stay drug-free, then I have the opportunities and I'll be able to reach my goals.
What about you, Marquise?
I would be able to stay alone because I would rather keep my brain cells, like she said, and I have dreams that I want to fulfill,
What are some of your dreams you want to do?
like work at some places that have good paying jobs.
You want a good paying job, and you know, in order to get a good paying job, you know, you have to be able to pass a drug screening test. And it's hard to get those jobs if you have drug in your system. So we have to make sure that we stay clean and stay clear of drugs. But what about the peer pressure? Do you feel peer pressure in school, or have you seen peer pressure in school pertaining to drugs?
Well, I seen peer pressure.
Use your mic.
I seen peer pressure, but I never get to peer pressure like some people don't. It's not comfortable to say no. Like they trying to be cool with other people. Like they ain't cool. Like if you do drugs, they gon' something gonna happen to you. You just can't like. You know, I had a friend. You know, he did drugs, so I told him, man, you can't do drugs, man, 'cause he gonna kill you. 'Cause that's the devil.
Right.
And I told him that guys keep up, man. I told him this, man. When I grow up, man, I want to be in the military.
Right. So you try to encourage your friends to stay clear of drugs, which is part of my next question, is how do you convince people to stay away from drugs? And you said you try to talk them off of it. You know, you don't need to do drugs, stay clear of drugs. How do you do it, Leo?
Well, the way I stay clear of drugs is by telling my friend, like, hey, if this dude wants you to do drugs, that's like, and you do it, that's like saying that if he runs off a cliff, you're going to run off a cliff right with him. That's not a good idea. That's not the smartest thing you can do. The smart thing you can do is just turn around, walk away, or just be like, no, I'm not doing it.
Right. What are some consequences of drug use, WJ? What are some consequences of drug use? What are some things that could happen if you use drugs, or if you're around someone who is using or selling drugs?
You can go to jail. You get crazy. You take drugs.
Right.
Like
What about
pills.
Iana? You got anything you want to add to that?
I say suicide and death.
Suicide and death? Yeah. I think that by using drugs or being around someone who is using or selling drugs, that those are two options that you could end up either in jail or injure yourself or dead. You can end up because they do lace drugs with other things and use other drugs to mix things into it, and so you can end up in a mind-bending situation, and your brain cells. Does anybody here know what happens to your brain cells when you use drugs?
Yes,
Tell me.
they could fall off and you can never get them back.
Yeah. Well, actually, they don't fall off, but they die. The brain cells die.
So you mean like if our brain cells die, that mean our whole body will die?
No, the brain cells, we need our brain cells. This is how we function. But when we use drugs, the drug use can cause your brain cells to die, and they don't regenerate, which means it doesn't heal. It's just a dead part of your brain that's just been killed by drug use. And a lot of times people don't understand that when they're using drugs, that it's a part of you that you take away and never get back again. Has any of you ever experienced seeing someone else using drugs?
All the time.
What did you notice about their behavior or their personality? Was there a major change?
Yeah, there was a major change. I hang around people that do that a lot. Like, not that I want to. It's like school. People in school do it all the time. It's like, you know how they really are, but once you see how the drug affects them, you don't want them the drug to affect you in any kind of way that's related to that.
Right.
Or even if you don't get affected by it, you still don't want to have that chance of getting affected by it.
What are the effects you've noticed when you see the person using? What are some of those effects you see?
Them just not acting normal. Like them, like normally my friend, he would like normally be like, oh, yeah, let's go to the park, let's go to the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
We go, we have fun, we come back to my house. I'm like just sitting there, and he leaves. Then he comes back, and he's just like not acting right.
So his personality has changed,
His personality left. He's just like a whole different person.
and it's for the worse, I'm assuming. It's not for the better.
Most of the time, it's for the worse.
Okay. What about you, Lee, WJ? Anything you've noticed about anyone that may have been using drugs around you, or that someone that you may have noticed from afar? Have you noticed any changes in their personalities?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
Well, I was at school once, right? You know, he had like a Smartie, right? And he told me there was drugs, right? So he took the Smartie out, then he put some cocaine in it, right?
What's a Smartie?
You mean like
It's like
a
candy
candy like that?
Like a what?
A candy Smartie.
Candy.
The candy Smartie?
Yes.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
loosen it and just shake it up and start smoking.
What, like
Cigarette.
Like he would sneaking. He would be sneaky, like when like you watching every time you turn the light up, watch the video, he be doing it.
Oh.
And I'd be like,
Smartie is like a sour candy?
yes.
No.
It's like a little
I
tart.
think it's like pixie dust compacted. Pixie
Gotcha.
dust. But like what I've seen like stuff from some parents don't want their kids going trick or treating for reasons like this, because some people are sick enough to take the Smartie out, get like cocaine or PCPs, ecstasy, something like that, and put it into the Smartie, like the Smartie wrapper, and then give it to the kid, and then act like it's just normal candy and let them walk away with it. They eat it and they just get messed up and stuff.
Like their brain, their mind gonna be messed up. Like
And Mom-
the devil wants them to do bad things. God wants them. God needs to clear their mind out from the devil.
From what they've been, from the drug usage.
Yes, like
What about you, Marquise? You was getting ready to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
My mom had told me that that candy, people would be like putting stuff in there. My mom said that when she was little, she would be going trick or treating, and she said that somebody gave her a candy apple or something like that, and it had like a razor.
Right.
And then my mom said stuff about Smarties.
Right.
My mom said that people be putting Molly and stuff in there.
Right. And I guess I can caution you all about that, taking candy from strangers. You really just can't do that nowadays. Nowadays, unfortunately, sometimes it's hard to be a kid in this day and time. And so for all of you who have gone through the academy and talked very openly about your experiences with drugs and your stand against drugs, I want to commend you and say thank you for being a part of the show, a part of the academy. The Roundtable thanks you for being a guest on the show, and come back and visit me another time. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to say to all of our guests who are viewing the academy hosted by the Roundtable for our youth, to enlighten them through way of television training, the things about bullying and drug use, that it's truly okay to stand alone and be your own person, to not be peer pressured into doing something against what you know to be right, against what your moral values are, or just to be a part of the gang. Be your own person, be okay with standing alone, and I will see you all again next week here at the Roundtable.
When I look in the mirror, I wonder what I see. I mean, I feel good. I even look good. But there's something missing.
Yo, it's hard facing myself. Know I'm disgracing myself. Why I keep raising myself? Am I better off with a bullet in my head or a straight raise to myself? Thinking that taking my life, I'm on a phase in myself. It's a phase of myself. My anger got me caged in myself. Through the flames that I felt and the haze that I smell, I shuffle the hurt and I'm looking at the pain that I dealt. Yeah, my inner pride got me shaming myself. My thoughts in overdrive, feel my brain finna melt. When actions override all the claim to its wealth, you become a danger to self. Contemplating every day I should go ahead and bang on myself. That's another danger to hell, so I changed to myself. Laughter became the fame of myself. Master one so ashamed of myself, man, I'm changing myself. Oh Lord, man, I'm here again. Yeah, I'm drawing blanks, can you feel them in? Alone on this island, I feel like Gilligan. I'm losing faith and I'm feeling sad. Will this dark, cold heart ever feel again? I'm feeding all this dead flesh and adrenaline. I see that spirit lifespan steady dwindling. It's a spice emotion, I call it cinnamon. I'm a sinner man and I'm hiding the ceiling fan. I'm raving through the streets and I'm pillaging. And I'm saying I would change, but I sin again. And I'm hearing all these things that he bigger than. How his son gave his life, pay my dividends. But that can't be the world that I'm living in. Cause it's hard to pay these light and make these dividends. It's like I'm running to your gates, but I ain't getting in. I need amends, yeah, before my soul can fit, I break it in. Cause all I can see is the sin of him, and it's all to the death. I wanna be a bright light, Christ-like, a synonym. This lyricist is killing it and feeling it while I reminisce. Invading your innocence, I'm adding my 50 cents to many men, mammals, amphibians. That's why I'm so militant, yep. I'm just one of the last soldiers, giving hope and hoping to pass over. In my past, I'm just letting it pass over. Celebrating liberation to pass over. Yeah, I got it right, boy. My whole life, I heard get a light, boy. Amazing when I die, I got a light, boy. That darkness was converted into light, boy. I'm flying high in this world, man, I'm like Thor. With God shining on my night, boy. The streets talking, they say I need to write more. Cause we never heard nothing like yours. Reason, cause I'm running on the right course. Yeah, and stay connected to the right source. I'm showing love, I'm just giving them advice, Lord. Yeah, that's from the blood to the vice lords. Yeah, that's from the thugs to the nice boys. I'm calm like the eye of a night storm. I found my identity, man, I'm light born. In Christ, man, I learned the right wrongs. God's acceptance is coming from the now. I'm a royal child that's coming from the wild. Rivers of living water ain't coming from the now. Soldiers we unify, here coming from a mile. Yeah.